Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I'm bringing you a very nice Type 95 6v6 domination on the map Bootleg. Now, Bootleg, as I've mentioned several times before, is one of my favourite maps. However, since the spawns have been changed, it does play slightly differently. And these are quite subtle differences, you know. The spawns haven't changed that much. I know they've got rid of revenge spawns, but you still spawn close to the enemy quite a lot of times. However, even that very subtle change has slowed Bootleg down a little bit, and it's become a lot more tactically based map. So you can't really just get the striker out and dominate like you could used to on this map. You've got to think about it. You've got to dominate more using the old style way of playing domination, which is establishing map control around the centre or on the road, capturing B, and then trying to capture one extraneous objective. You know, with the old version of Bootleg, with the old style of spawns, you could basically get any submachine gun or any shotgun you wanted and basically just run laps around the map. And if they capture two objectives, you just go and capture whichever two objectives you were closer to. So there has been a perceptible change in the way that this map is played, but I think this change is for the better, because now it's slightly less of just a free-for-all mess and a lot more tactically based. And this is where a weapon such as the Type 95 really comes into its own, because 3-round burst weapons in the history of Call of Duty have been, you know, the area for players with decent aim, but players who like to just stick to the fringes of the action, looking at the action itself, picking players off and providing a bit more of a support role. Because as you can see so far, pretty much every gunfight I've got into, I've tried to stay behind cover, so showing as little as my body as possible, and kill the enemy from as far away as possible, because the big benefit of 3-round burst weapons is their accuracy over range. And this is where the perk Marksmen comes into effect as well. Marksmen is, I think, the best 3rd tier perk in the game. It certainly is the best when you're using a 3-round burst weapon, because look at that there. That kill there would not have happened if I didn't have Marksmen. Because I had Marksmen, his name popped up, and I couldn't really see his body very well because there was so much clutter in the way, but his name clearly showed up, and I could just aim by shooting at the name. And this is a fantastic thing to do, and that is the only area where the Type 95 is overpowered. The Type 95 gets a lot of heat, along with the striker and several other weapons for being overpowered. In my opinion, the Type 95 is 95% fine. You know, it's very powerful over medium and long range, but then it's a 3-burst weapon. It should be. That's its whole area of expertise. However, the one problem with the Type 95 is its hip fire. It's far too accurate. I mean, I am not using steady aim on this class, and you saw how quickly I nailed that guy when I turned the corner. I mean, it's a little bit imbalanced. What I would do personally, and I think this is what Infinity Ward are looking at, because they are looking at patching the Type 95 again, what I would do is continually widen that hip spread until every now and again you do get a lucky kill, but you've got to bring the sights up at close range to have any chance of regularly killing people. If they find the balance, I think the Type 95 will be a very good and viable weapon without being the slightly overpowered thing it is at the moment. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as the FMGs, because you can shoot helicopters down with those things. And I remember watching a Woody's Gamertag video when he was shooting Reapers and Pavlos and everything down with a secondary, you know, with not even a launcher, just with some machine pistols, and that is definitely wrong. But I think the Type 95 is almost perfect now. If you just get 1 or 2 subtle tweaks, it will be a perfectly balanced weapon. And this little kill here brings me on to my second topic of the day, which is Recon. The perk Recon is one of the most underrated perks on Modern Warfare 3. You know, you see a lot of people using Blind Eye, a lot of people using Sleight of Hand, but you really don't see many people using Recon. And Recon is absolutely fantastic. Now, if you guys don't know what Recon is, perhaps you haven't used it before, I'll just fill you in. Basically, the basic Recon perk, whenever you throw a stun grenade and it hits someone, or it could be a flash or an EMP grenade or any sort of grenade, when it injures someone or flashes them, they will show up on the map Black Ops Blackbird style for about 20-30 seconds. So it's a very prolonged period of time, and it's absolutely fantastic with dealing with campers. For example, if you're rushing into a building, it's common practice to throw a flash into the building just to lead your way. Now, imagine you've got sleight of hand on. You throw that flash into a building and you hit someone. You're not too sure where they are. I mean, there's normally 2 or 3 places in a building where they're going to be. They're going to be in the corner or behind a desk or just camping on the stairs looking down. But that's 3 things you've got to check. And if you're rushing in, he knows where you're going to be. So there's only one way you can come in from, but there's 3 or 4 possible options for you to check when you get in there. And Recon is a perfect rusher's perk. It really is, because it just removes all of that uncertainty. You throw that flash in, you hit the guy, and he's shown very, very clearly on the radar for a very long time, and you can just come in and get the kill very easily. And you saw that kill just a little bit earlier on the road. I threw the flash, he showed up on the radar, and I got the kill, and that was really unlucky. What happened there is I was aiming at the guy in the bushes who was shooting at me, and the aim assist tugged to the guy who was running across, so I lost my aim, and that crucial split second of aim lost managed to get me killed. So that sucked a little bit, but anyway, let's just get back onto it. I think, you know, if you guys haven't used Recon, I really do give it a recommendation, because the pro version is even better, because not only do you get the benefit of the flashes and stuns, you get bullet damage as well. So it just opens up so many tactical possibilities, because in the past in a Call of Duty game, sometimes you will see a guy run across you and you'll be like, I can't really shoot him, because if I shoot him, I'm not going to have enough time to kill him, and he's going to know where I am, so he can get into a good spot and wait for me to come around the corner. However, Recon Pro takes away all the disadvantages of that situation. If you shoot him and he survives, he'll be on the radar, so you can turn the corner and know exactly where he is. And it really is a fantastic perk, and I strongly, strongly recommend you giving it a go. Anyway, it just brings me on nicely to my third topic, sorry, I'll get my words out. My third topic of conversation for this commentary, and that is the assault kill streaks. Now, I know a lot of people out there, especially big YouTubers, aren't too fond of the assault kill streaks. I mean, the name that springs immediately to mind is Fearcrads. I think it was 2 or 3 videos ago that he said he really doesn't like assault and he can see no point of running it. However, I do think there are 2 assault setups that are still very, very viable options, because a lot of people like to run support and a lot of people like to run specialists, but these 2 assaults, you've seen me use them a lot, and these are the 2 go-to kill streak setups I have. I have the setup that I'm using on this Type 95, which is a Pavlo, AH6 Overwatch, and Predator Missile. So this is the setup you want to use when you're going to be staying a little bit away from the action. You know, not this is, for example, with a sniper or with a long-range 3-burst weapon like I'm using here. Because you're slightly further away, your chances of getting that higher kill streaks are magnified, because you're not going to be bumping into people very close, so you're not going to be at risk of death streaks or panic knifing or just running into someone with a shotgun and getting mowed. You know, using this style of kill streak, it really does enable you to pick up these big gameplays like I'm getting here, and this is the kill streak setup I use when I'm playing well. So I'll get my Predator Missile, which with hardline is only 4 kills, and bearing in mind, if you get on the A objective or the C objective when you start, that's 1 point. If you kill 1 or 2 guys on the road to B, that's 2 more points, and then if you capture B, that's your Predator Missile. So it's very, very easy to get your Predator Missile, especially at the start of the gameplay. You just need to be a little bit careful and you'll get it every time. Now, your Predator Missile in a standard 6v6 domination will get you around 2 kills. You know, 2 kills is what I aim for. If I don't see anyone grouped together, I'll get 1, and very occasionally, if everyone's undercover or they're all using blind eye, you won't get any at all. But if you aim for that 2, you're already on 6 kills if you're using hardline. And you're already basically at your AH6. Then you just set up shop, defend B for a bit, defend your outside objective, and you've got your AH6. And then with your AH6, you can afford to be a little bit more aggressive, because that thing is my favourite assault kill streak. It follows you around the map, and it is an absolute beast. The only problem is it does get shot down very, very easily. But if you can just keep it alive, stay alive yourself, your payload flows very, very naturally on top of that. So it is a setup I strongly, strongly recommend. My second assault setup is the UAV Predator Attack Chopper. Now, for a 7 kill streak, the Attack Chopper can go on absolute tears. I've had Attack Choppers get me 10 kills, especially on a small map. For example, Dome. It really, really is a good map to try the Attack Chopper on. So that is a kill streak setup I use when we're up against some slightly tougher opposition, because with hardline it's only 2 kills to get that UAV, and if you're constantly throwing UAVs up, it really does put the enemy under pressure. So guys, I really do recommend you try these 2 kill streak setups out. You know, try the Type 95 out as well. I'm pretty sure most of you would have done by now, but if you've let it rust on the shelf like I did for a little bit, bring it out. Anyway guys, the final score is 43-7, which I think is quite a good gameplay with the Type 95, showing you an alternative way to play Bootleg, because you've seen a lot of games on Bootleg where I charge around with a PP90 or with a shotgun and get scores that way, but this is another way to play it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and have a fantastic day.